I was trying to think here, you know, what has been the major thing for Mark Hughes, okay? And, you know, my guy said, you know, put something on him, man. Put something seriously out there. And I tried to think to myself, what has been the very biggest thing in the world, okay, that's really made Mark Hughes move, okay? And I would say that the number one thing that has made Mark Hughes, okay, is my complete passion for helping people. Seriously. I just love it. I just absolutely love it. Now, a lot of you have heard about the overdose of my mom, okay, and that was certainly a serious driving force for me wanting to help people lose weight, okay, but a lot of it also has to do with my upbringing, okay. My mom was in a serious situation when I grew up. I had a stepfather that was, not going to get into too many details about it or I'd be lying on the couch over here, okay, but was a very mean person, okay, very mean to me, very mean to my mom. She was treated in a very horrible way as we were growing up. And from a very early on age, by the time I was about 9, I was taking care of my mom constantly, okay, getting her out of trouble, protecting him from the bad person that was in the house. And I was made to stay home at school many times to make sure that the house was clean and the cooking was done and everything was straightened out, and protecting her from him to make sure that she wasn't going to get hurt and stuff like that. And so I think a lot of my instincts, just from the time I was a small kid, has been to want to help people, okay? And a lot of it came, you know, from the time I was 9 to then her having a drug overdose. And it just drives me, okay, to want to have the passion for people to lose weight, having my passion of wanting people to be able to be financially free. And that goes deep inside of me, okay, very deep inside of me. And it started when I was a small kid, and it's what drives me today. And it's the number one thing that keeps me going. And I think a lot of people feel that passion. You know, so many times people say to me, man, I met the guy for 2 minutes, you know, up on the stage. I feel like I've known him for the last 14 years. And I got a lot of that from my grandfather. My grandfather was that kind of guy. And he was a wonderful man, the greatest man that ever walked on the face of the earth. And he was the kind of guy that would put his arms around you the minute he met you. And he was unbelievable. And I get that from him, and I think a lot of people feel that from me when they meet Mark Hughes. But if you can pick up any of that passion, okay, you'll move mountains. Be unbelievable things that you can do. I mean, where I've come from and the area that I grew up in and what's happened in my life has been amazing. And what's going to happen in the future for me and what's going to be the future for you guys is going to be absolutely, truly incredible is what's going to happen for all of us, okay? And if you pick up the passion like me, it's going to just be overwhelming. The passion for the products, but it's not just what the products, it's what the products do for people, okay? And it's the marketing plan of the century, but it's not the marketing plan, it's what the marketing plan do for people, okay? And if you can have the passion for the products and the people, okay, and you can have the passion for the people, I'm telling you something, it'll be unbelievable. If you care about your people, okay, anywhere near the way I care about all you guys, okay, it would be unbelievable. You know, sometimes, you know, it really bothers me when sometimes people say, you know, they're looking at the marketing plan and they're getting upset because some of their people are moving up and they're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to get cut off because one of my guys is getting up here to the top. That's bad thinking. That's bad thinking. There's some kind of myth that goes on about multi-level, which is stupid, okay? Somebody gets you the pitch, okay, that here you sign up one person, you retire forever. Hey, that's not the way it worked for me. Okay, well, I've learned you work every single day, you get paid more. You work forever, you keep making more money. You keep having the passion, you keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, you keep working, you keep getting rich. Keep working harder, you keep getting richer. That's what it's supposed to be. Work. What a concept. And you guys got to remember something, okay? You may have helped a guy get up to a certain stage, but you didn't take this guy from millionaire to president's team. Let's get serious, okay? The person took himself from millionaire team to president's team. They worked like crazy. And guess what was happening during that time? You were getting rich for free. And you got to remember that, okay? Your person's moving the ladder up, and what's happening is you got a lot of free money coming into your bank account. You need to thank goodness, okay, for what's happening to your bank account as a result of your people moving up, and then you'll get back in the 1% bonus. It's stinking thinking to be thinking about your people getting up to the top. You want your people to get up to the top. Man, I was so happy when I put that pin into Marcus's chest yesterday, and Hida-san, okay? I want to put all the pins in your guys' chest. Did you see those 40 President's team members up here today? Putting those pins in their chest? Let me put all the pins in your guys' chest. Huh. It's so good to have a really expensive jacket on, too. A really expensive one from Battaglia. You know, $4,000 suit. Punch a hole in it. Yeah, looks good. Looks even better in a tuxedo where you got the satin where it makes a permanent indent. Boom. So I would say that was my number one thing, is my passion for what's happening. And my passion is just getting so big. I'm telling you, what's going to happen to us in the future is just going to be absolutely overwhelming. Here's number two, attitude. Attitude's great when everything's going great. Of course, it's easy to have a good attitude then. When you got to have a good attitude is when things are not going good. When things are going bad. I can remember back in the beginning, I talk about Don Grano all the time. Don Grano was my best guy, okay? And you know, first month, 6,000, second month, 12,000, third month, 18,000. I was counting on this guy to make things happen. Boom, he's out of the business. Okay, and along with it, what happened? All the people went with him. Okay, and what happened to my meetings? Went from 60 down to 20. Okay, how did you think I felt back at that time when we didn't have any literature, we didn't have any journals, we didn't have nothing going on? Okay, we had just a couple of bottles, okay, and my only guy that I was counting on to really make things happen left. How do you think Mark Hughes really felt? Terrible. Put in your notes. I felt bad. Now, I've signed the guy up 3 times, and I felt bad all 3 times. I'm telling you, I'm going to get him a 4th time one of these days. He's going to be one of these days. I don't know how many times it's going to take us, but we're going to get him sometime. You know, the last couple of years with myself and my wife, been a very bad situation for me, okay? And nobody knew it. Any of you guys know it? No. Because I'll tell you something, when you got to keep your attitude up, okay? And when you're king, the king can't let the attitude out, okay? The king can't ever let his feelings show that things are going bad or going rough, or having a bad day, or having a bad marriage, or having a bad time, or what's going on. The king can't show that stuff. And you know what? You guys are the kings and queens of your areas. And you can't let it show either. Because people are counting on the way you feel every single morning about what you're doing, about the products and the marketing plan, and what kind of bad press is going on, or what kind of rumors are happening, or whatever's going on. They're counting on your attitude. And you guys better have the answers and the solution. And I'm not saying that you may not have a problem that you got to face. You got a bad article that comes out. You say, listen, yeah, here's a bad article, but let me tell you what we're going to do about it. We're going to work twice as hard, and we're going to put on 2 mini buttons. We're going to take twice as many tablets. We're going to get out here, and we're going to work like crazy. I've taken good care of my employees. I've taken good care of my distributors, and I've taken good care of all 3 of my wives. I gotta have a lot of passion for this business the way I'm going. Now, unbelievable is right. Now, just real quickly, here it's number 3, because I got to cover a couple basic things with you, or I wouldn't be, we'd be leaving things out. Here's the first thing here, and John Peterson covered this, and that's 10 people a month. I did 20 a month when I got started. I led the pack. But 10 people every single month, first line. And here's the best thing that you need to get going. If you guys will concentrate, okay, if this is you, okay, if you'll concentrate on getting your first level and your second level and your third level, and then you go down deep to your 4th, 5th, and 6th, and get these guys all making 2,500 in volume points, okay? So everybody got this? Okay, here's what happens, okay? If this guy does 2,500, 5% of that, write it down in your notes, is 125 bucks. Your second guy, if there's doing 2,500, that's another 125 bucks. Now, this is very important what I'm teaching you. You do this, you're going to get seriously rich. This is the basics. Your third guy over here, if he's doing 2,500, that's another 125 bucks. That means you up here, you're getting $375. And if you've concentrated on your 4th, your 5th, and your 6th, and you got these guys doing their 2,500, here's what's going to happen. Your first guy's going to get 375. Your second level's going to get 375. Your third level's going to get 375. So you're guaranteed that this is working. The worst thing that can happen now is they all drop out and these 3 guys come up and you're still making the same $375 you were before. Now that will make you rich. Now, did you guys get that? All that's got to happen is you get 10 of those, and that's called $3,750 on your royalty override check. You're almost a millionaire team member. Now, if only 2 out of the 10, write that down, $3,750. If only 2 out of the 10 become millionaire team members, that's going to be another $6,000 that you're going to be earning in royalties minimum. They're at 4,000. You usually get 75% of what they do. So that's 6,000. So that's almost $100,000 a year right there on your 3 levels. Now, how many people in this room make twice on their infinite what they do on their 3 levels? Raise your hands. If you're making twice on your infinite level what you make on your 3 levels, get your hands up in the air. Okay? So if you had 10 first lines and only 2 of them get the millionaire team, okay, that's $200,000 a year in income by just doing that. So what do you concentrate on? Getting 10 first line every single month, okay? And then concentrate on going down line so you can make this happening with 2,500, okay? And it all happens. But it happens with the beginning of getting those first lines. Now here's the next thing I did that I had to master. And all you guys got to learn how to do it too, and that's meetings. You got to get up and do meetings. Every single person in the room, you guys got to learn how to do meetings. If you're not doing meetings, you got to know how to do meetings. Period. Okay? That means you guys. Every one of you guys in the back, all you girls in the back, you got to get up and do meetings. Do the products, do the marketing plan, do the clothes, the whole thing. You got to know how to do it all. Okay? If you want to get up here and get like me, you want to get like the Chairman's Club members down here, you want to get like the President's team members, okay? They all know how to do meetings, okay? And so you got to know how to do the meetings. We're not going to go through what's happening in the meetings. You guys know what to do, okay? Here's what you do to do a meeting. Do one. You know what? Do one, okay? And then if you don't do it so good, do another one. And if you don't do it so good, do another one. Trust me, you'll get good at it if you do it enough times. You won't keep getting up there and being a flop, trust me. You'll do it better and better and better. You got to learn how to do trainings. If you don't know how to do a training, easy. Go to one of the trainings, listen, learn, and then do one. Listen, learn, and then do one. See, you don't really got it in your mind until you're doing one. Okay? You're listening to it, you're absorbing it, okay? But it's going in one ear and out the other until you got to get up there and actually say the stuff. When you say it, you're going to know it. You can't just be going out here doing all this stuff. You got to do it. Okay? You got to do it. And there's nobody in the room that can't do it. You can all do it. Hey, if I can do it, you guys can do it. And I didn't have a sponsor. Nobody got me after the meeting and said, do this a little better. Didn't work like that. Okay? So you guys, in the speakers that we got now, okay, all of you got to do it. But we got incredible speakers today. So all you got to do is go to one of these STSs and learn from the incredible speakers that we got today, and you're going to be incredible faster than we ever did. Why? Because our people are good. I mean, I wasn't very good when we started these meetings. Here's the products, here's the marketing plan, good night. I mean, they were quick. We used to have that, I remember the big card? I had this great big card, for those of you that haven't heard this story, okay, and it had these stupid little clips on it, and they'd fall apart every time you took the card. The first card had, welcome to my family. What a stupid deal that was. I would have walked out of the room the moment I said that. Man, when I think about some of those old meetings. Okay, here's the fourth thing you got to do. Duplicate. You got to show your people how to retail. Write these things down. I'm giving you the stuff that got me rich. You got to teach them how to recruit. You got to teach them how to do a meeting. You got to get them and show them how to do a training. You got to get them and you got to show them how to do conference calls. You got to show them how to do an organizational meeting. And then we'll take over from there and help them get to the corporate schools. And then I'll make sure that they know how to do the chairman's classes, the extravaganzas, and the summit. And I'll do that for you. Here's number 5, commitment. And here's the only thing I can tell you about commitment. You're going to have to sit your family down and talk about your commitment. You're going to have to get the whole family bought in on the program. Okay? It's been part of my problem. Okay? There was commitments in the beginning, but the commitments fell apart. So you may have to continue to keep talking about what the commitment's going to be. Because part of my problem was when the company went public, I made a serious amount of money. And for some reason, people in my family thought that I was not going to have to go out there and work anymore. But they didn't realize that this wasn't just an act up here on stage. This is not an act. This is what I do. So you're going to have to get an agreement with your family here, okay? And everybody's going to have to buy in on it and discuss it and agree. You're going to work this much. You're going to play this much. This is what it's going to mean if you do this. Okay, if I work this hard, here's what we might get. Okay, and keep your commitments. Okay, and that may have to be refined from the day you start to the time you can become a GET team member. It may have to be refined. And when you become a millionaire team member, it may have to be refined. And when you get to the president's team, it may have to be refined. And then when your spouse sits there looking at you as a president's team member, and your burning desire is to go for chairman's club, okay, and they're getting on your nerves because they don't want you working like crazy to get to the chairman's club, okay, you're going to have one of those little sweet talks. These have been my experiences. Here's the first thing you guys get, okay? Here's the first thing you guys get when you get going, okay? You do everything that you can to make yourself look more impressive to your group so you match the pitch. So here's what I did. The first thing I did was I bought some new clothes. Wasn't that great? Wasn't that the greatest place? But it was the greatest place I could get that would make me look the best so that what I was pitching would match with the clothes I was wearing. You got it? So for those of you brand new, I remember Jerry, we sent her down to the Goodwill store, and she bought her silk dress for $2 to make herself look better at the meetings that she was given. Okay? So it may have to start way down at the bottom. We didn't get this way by being what you're seeing here today. Okay? This thing started out with a little white jacket and those little black pants. Okay? Okay? And then from there, I got my first car. I'll never forget driving up in that El Dorado. Remember that? And then it made everybody sniff the seats. Seriously, I brought all my supervisors in and I said, sniff the seats, man. This leather is cool, baby. Then the next thing I did was I got a better apartment. A better apartment. Okay? Wasn't a house, it was an apartment. A better apartment. That's where I started. A better apartment. Then I got my very first condo. Never forget my very first condo. Smaller than my bathroom at Gray Hall. Seriously. Can you believe that? Wait till you see my bathroom. It's unbelievable. Okay? And then you may decide you want an office, and then you go for your very first house, and then maybe you go for your first mansion, and then maybe you're getting your holiday house. I know what happened to me. Okay, this is what I used to look like. It's me going to an organizational meeting back in 1980. If we can bring that up. And that was my new clothes. I know, I look just like Paco. You got it all wrong. Paco looked just like me. And there I was, okay, and I went from that, and I had my very first office. You guys have seen that, okay? Got my little dinky, raggedy old office. There's Frank Lutz putting the number up on the building. Look at Frank Lutz. He was our businessman. He was our top guy. He was a real estate person. Look at him. He looks so corny. Of course, I went from that to now we got the new building. I bought my house in my dreams in 1985, right when the FDA dropped the atomic bomb on us. I bought it the month before that. I bought my house in Maui, okay? Get that up. Then I got myself a little beach house, okay, so I can get away from Beverly Hills, okay, down at the mountain, down in Malibu down there, okay. Right next door there is the Reiners, okay, that produce all the movies. We got all the movie stars live right around me, okay. It's unbelievable. Everybody lives right down there, okay. Stallone's got his place down there. Everybody's got their house down there, okay. And then of course I got Gray Hall, okay. And wait till you guys see Gray Hall tonight. You're not going to believe it. I got the 4,000 square foot guest house next door done, and you ain't going to believe it. It looks unbelievable. Okay, you guys, that's where you're going to walk through first tonight. You're going to go through the guest house, okay, first, then you go over to the main house. And of course, then I stepped up to the plate and got my boat. Got my boat going. And this year, since nobody was buying me Christmas presents, I bought myself a Christmas present, and I got a helicopter from the back of my boat. This is the way it looks right now. They only come in black and red. It's being painted right now white with the gold stripes on it, so it's got the Shamwari name on it and stuff like that. It'd be called Shamwari 2, okay, with 7342 MH on it. You're not going to believe how much cooler this boat's going to look with a helicopter on the back. Okay, here's number 8. Get everyone doing everything for you. Get everybody doing everything for you. I don't do anything. You got to get everybody doing everything for you. You got to get maids for your houses so you're not making your beds. You don't do this stuff big in the beginning, okay? I had a maid that came in twice a week. But I figured in the twice a week she was cleaning my house, I could go out and sell me a couple of programs and I was making up the money. Okay? And so you figure this stuff out. But you got to get yourself a maid. You got to get someone cleaning your cars. You got to get someone doing your lawn. Eventually you'll be getting your secretary. But let me tell you something. There's only one way I can keep getting all the stuff done that I do. I got everybody doing everything for me. I give lots of instructions. Go do. Okay? I get a thought, go do this. Get a thought, go do that. Get another thought, go do this. Okay? It's impossible to run an organization of the amount of distributors that we got, with the hundreds of thousands of people that we got, with the thousands of employees that we got, and all the languages that we got, without me just coming up with a lot of thoughts and then saying, go do. And here's what you got to do when you say go do. Write this down. You got to be prepared for some people to not do it exactly the way you would want it done. Then you got to tell them to do it again, and then you got to tell them to do it again, and then tell them to do it again, and tell them to get them to do it again until they do it the way you want it done. But you got to take some chances on some people, or you're going to get so tied up doing everything yourself that you're not going to have any time to duplicate. And duplicate is what it's all about. You got to have lots of little Mark Hugheses running around. You got to have lots of little Alan Lorenzes running around. You got to have lots of little yous running all over the place. Okay? And the rest of the little stuff that's happening in your life that clutters up your life, okay, like your beds and your dishes and your cars and your lawns and all that stuff, okay, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. You can't be having your wife do your dishes. Send her out and sell some product. That's right. Well, what am I going to do if I'm not doing the dishes? You're going to go and hand out some flyers. That's what you're going to do. Okay, here's number 9. Nine. Trust me. Dealing with adversity. With bad press, supervisors falling out, your distributors going sideways on you. Here's all I know what to do. You work hard when it's easy, and you work twice as hard when it's not easy. That's all I know what to do. Doesn't sound like real big advice, okay, but that's what I did. When the FDA happening, let me tell you something. I was working harder than I've ever worked in my entire life. I was working the FDA problems, I was working the meeting problems, I was working the adversity problems, I was working the television problems, I was working like crazy. So what do you do to overcome adversity? You work twice as hard, that's what you do. You get out and you make it happen. Number 10, personal growth. I'm not any big speaker like Jim Rohn. I don't know how to talk to you about personal growth. Here's all I know is practice makes perfect. You listen, you learn, you try, you fail, you try, you fail, you try, you fail, you try till you get better, you try till you get perfect, and then you try again until you're better than that. And then the last one is you never get satisfied with how good you are. You're always better the next time. That's all I know about personal growth. There's not a meeting that we're going to do that's not going to be better than the next one. Isn't this the best summit you've ever been to? Huh? Huh? And trust me, the next one's going to be unbelievable. Because there's not ever going to be a meeting where we're satisfied enough. They're always going to be better, and we're always going to be doing it in more incredible, and it's going to be more always unbelievable than in the last one. That's the way it's got to be if you want personal growth. That's all I know about personal growth. It's got to be better. That's all I know. Got to be better than the last one. You got to stretch your mind sometimes to be better than the last one. We had Rod Stewart here the other night. What are we going to do next? I don't know. I got to tell you this. It's going to be a lot better than Rod. Here's number 11, setting goals. I can't tell you big speeches about setting goals. Here's the only thing I know about setting goals. Going after things that you cannot live without, period. There's only 2 mountains in Beverly Hills. I bought one of them, and Paul Allen from Microsoft bought the other one. Mine's bigger. By 53 acres, by the way, too. And not only that, I paid a lot less for it than he did. Here's number 12. How do I get things done that I don't know how to do? How do I get the products done? How do I get Urbital done? How do I get these videos done? How do I keep getting these countries open? Here's what I do. I get people that know how to do it better than I do. And I get them, and I convince them that the greatest thing that's ever happened to them in their entire life is meeting Mark Hughes and being with Herbalife. And let me tell you what it is. It always is. When I laid that deal on Dr. Katz, and I only met the guy 2 weeks before we were walking into that Senate building, and I said, let me tell you something, pal. If you get together with me, Mark Hughes, okay, the guy that they're writing bad press about, it'll be the best thing that ever happened to you. And it was. And that's what I do. I get people around me that are better than me. I looked at Dick Marconi. I said, if you get together with me, pal, I'm telling you something, it's going to be the best thing that ever happened to you. And guess what? Listen, Dick had a lot of customers. Guess who his biggest customer is? Me. You. Us. And here's how I did it. I was never stingy with my money. I've always been good to my people, and they've been good back to me. And that's the way it works. I get better people than I am. I pay them good. I'm not stingy with the money in my pocket. I care exactly what's going to happen to them and their families. I have a lot of passion about what's going to happen to them, and it ends up being a good deal for everybody. And that's how it is for all of my employees, and that's how it's worked out for all of you. And there's only one thing I can guarantee you, it's going to get a lot better. People have asked me all the time, how do you get this incredible team like this working around you? Okay? You got your people working like crazy. I've never seen anybody work the way your people work. And it's not just here, okay? It's the people back there. I mean, the people that put this up. Okay, look at all this stuff that's happening here. The videos, the set, the lights. My people work like crazy for one reason. Write this down. I work like crazy. I work like crazy. I work like crazy, and my people work like crazy. That's how I get them to work. I don't know any other answer than that. Okay? Because there isn't any other reason that it's happening. Sure, I pay good, but pay isn't enough after a while. You know what I'm saying? There's purpose to what's happening. Okay? And I got that purpose, and they get that purpose, and they drive, and we just drive each other. And it's only going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the only answer I got. I know it doesn't sound like brilliant answers, okay? But this is what the truth is for Mark Hughes, okay? And it's happening big time for Mark Hughes, okay? Here's number 14. How do you get your distributors to respect you? You got to say what you're going to do, and then you got to keep your word on it. And there's nothing I haven't kept my word on in this company unless it's been some law or some regulation that's made it not work. Always, every single time, if we tell you guys something's going to happen, it happens. If Mark tells you it's going to happen, it happens. And that's how you get your people to respect you and love you and follow you. It's the same way I have to do with my little kid. I can't be around Alex all the time. I leave Alex sometimes. But it's fine. Alex understands. I tell Alex, here's the deal, man. I said, listen, Daddy's got to go away for 6 or 7 days. But when Daddy gets back, Daddy's going to play with you every single day for 3 or 4 days straight, and we're going to have so much fun, it's going to be unbelievable. And as long as I do that with Alex when I get back, okay, Alex doesn't mind when I go away. He used to cry like crazy when I would go out of the house. He doesn't cry any longer because he knows Daddy's going to be back, and when Daddy's back, we play like crazy, and we love each other like crazy, and we go out in the mountains and we do stuff together, okay? And as long as that happens with you and your group will love you guys forever. Here's number 14. A lot of people have asked me what I do with my cash. Other than my cars, my house, and land that I've done, here's one thing I don't do. I don't put anything, my money into that I have to manage. If I got to think about it, if I got to look at it, I'm not putting my money in it. Here's the second thing I don't do. I don't put my money into anything that counts on what other people are going to do. Okay? I do 2 things. I have 10% of my money put into the top 5 Dow stocks, okay? The top 5 Dow stocks, okay, which have had an average return of 18 to 30%. The rest of everything is locked up in tax-free bonds, okay? It's not the most aggressive investment strategy. A lot of people have told me, you're out of your mind, why don't you buy some buildings? Why don't you buy some of this? Why don't you buy some of that? Let me tell you why I don't buy some buildings. Because you got to think about the buildings. You got to manage the people that are in the building. You got to think about the bills being paid. You got to be thinking about stuff. If I think 10%, okay, of my time about where my money's at, I'm losing millions over here at Herbalife. You don't have to follow this plan. I'm just telling you, I'm worth a couple bucks, and this is what I've done. Here's number 15, and that's building the Herbalife dream. I truly do want to make this the best company. I truly do want to make this the biggest company, and we truly are going to take Herbalife completely around the entire world. We are going to do that. We are going to do that.